The summer of 2026 brings not just heat, but a shocking rise in electricity costs. And when you open your utility bill, it's far higher than expected, forcing you to rethink expensive solutions like $30,000 solar panels and instead search for smarter, cheaper alternatives. You begin with a simple $20, $30 kilowatt meter that reveals a hidden truth. Even when appliances like TVs, consoles, and chargers appear off, they continue consuming power, what's known as phantom power, quietly accounting for 5% to 10% of your total bill. Determined to stop this invisible drain, you install a smart power strip in your entertainment setup, which automatically cuts power to idle devices, eliminating standby waste and saving around $35 $55 per year, turning a $30 investment into nearly $190 over 5 years, a 500% return, leading to a powerful realization that the real problem wasn't how much electricity you used, but how much you were unknowingly losing to systems designed to consume energy, even in silence. The summer of 2026 arrives with an unusual intensity. Not just the heat, but the rising cost of surviving it. Electricity prices have quietly climbed, and one evening you open your latest utility bill expecting the usual number, but what you see stops you cold. It's far higher than anything you've paid before. You check everything, units, dates, charges, but it's all correct, and that makes it worse. You start searching for solutions, finding advice about solar panels and full home systems, but the $30,000 price tag feels like another problem, not a solution. So instead, you decide to investigate the small, hidden leaks no one talks about. You discover a simple tool, a kilowatt meter costing around $20 to $30, and plug it into your wall, then connect your appliances to it, and suddenly you can see electricity, not just when devices are on, but even when they're supposedly off. You test everything, the TV, microwave, gaming console, chargers, and notice something strange. Even idle devices are still drawing power, tiny amounts but constant, hour after hour, day after day. This is phantom power, electricity that disappears silently without doing anything useful, and when you calculate it, it accounts for 5% to 10% of your entire bill. Pure waste caused not by usage, but by neglect. Determined to stop it, you move to your second tool, a smart power strip. It looks like a normal extension board, but works intelligently, detecting when your main device, like a TV, is turned off and automatically cutting power to everything connected. No standby mode, no silent draining. You install it in your entertainment setup, TV, console, sound system, and over days and weeks you start seeing a steady change. The savings are clear, around $35 to $55 per year just by eliminating standby power, turning a $30 device into nearly $190 over 5 years, a return of over 500%. And that's when the realization hits. This isn't about one device, it's about awareness. The biggest enemy wasn't how much electricity you used, but how much you were unknowingly losing to invisible consumption hiding in plain sight. The kind no one explains, because the more you ignore it, the more you pay. And if small changes can reveal this much waste, you begin to wonder what else is quietly draining energy inside your home without you ever noticing. The investigation doesn't end with electricity, because even after eliminating phantom power, something still feels off. Your air conditioner is running, yet the room never truly feels cool, as if the comfort keeps slipping away. You lower the temperature, the AC works harder, but the relief remains temporary. And that's when the realization hits. It's not just about how much energy you use, but how much you lose. And in most homes, the biggest escape route is invisible. Air leaks. Standing near your windows, you feel a faint but noticeable movement, warm air creeping in while cool air slips out, and research confirms the shock. Up to 30% of cooling energy can be lost through windows alone, not because your AC is weak, but because your home isn't sealed, like trying to fill a bucket with holes. Instead of spending thousands on new windows, you try a simple $20 window insulation film kit, applying a transparent layer and sealing it with heat from a hairdryer, effectively creating an insulating air barrier that mimics double-pane windows, reducing heat entry and keeping cool air inside, cutting your bill by 10% to 25% over time. Then you move to doors, sealing gaps with foam tape and adding draft stoppers underneath, blocking hidden airflow for just $20 to $50 and making your home feel noticeably more contained. Just when you think you've sealed everything, you discover another hidden leak, electrical outlets, where air quietly flows through the walls. So you install $5 foam gaskets behind switch plates, closing yet another invisible pathway. And with each small fix, your perspective shifts. You no longer see your home as just walls and furniture, but as a system where energy flows and every gap matters, realizing that true efficiency isn't about adding more power, but about stopping what's already being wasted, allowing your AC to finally work with your home instead of against it. And for the first time, the comfort doesn't fade. It stays. The journey into energy efficiency takes another turn when you realize that electricity isn't your only major expense. Water heating quietly, consumes a large portion of your bill, often around 18%, making it one of the biggest hidden costs in your home. This leads you to your next strategy, what you begin to think of as liquid gold, because every drop of hot water carries energy you've already paid for, and wasting it means losing both water and money at the same time. You start with simple upgrades, installing $5 faucet aerators and an $80 low-flow shower head, small devices that mix air with water to maintain pressure while drastically reducing usage, and almost immediately you notice the difference, not in comfort, but in efficiency, as these changes cut both water consumption and heating costs by up to 50%, meaning less hot water used, less energy required to heat it, and more savings with every use. But you don't stop there, because you realize that even when you're not using hot water, your system is still losing energy. So you move to your next solution by wrapping your old water heater in a $20 insulation blanket, effectively trapping the heat inside instead of letting it escape into the surrounding air, and then you insulate the pipes themselves using simple foam sleeves costing around $1 per meter, ensuring that the hot water traveling through your home doesn't lose temperature before it even reaches you. The result is immediate and surprisingly powerful. Standby heat loss is significantly reduced. Your system retains heat longer, and the energy your heater produces is finally being used efficiently instead of wasted, reinforcing the realization that true savings don't always come from using less, but from protecting what you already have. The shift becomes undeniable when you realize that your kitchen and laundry habits are quietly draining massive amounts of electricity, especially when using large appliances like ovens and stovetops that consume far more power than necessary. This leads you to rethink your daily routines, starting with smarter tools like an air fryer and a pressure cooker, where replacing a traditional 2400-watt oven with a 1500-watt air fryer instantly cuts energy use by nearly 50%, while still delivering the same results faster and more efficiently. And the pressure cooker goes even further, reducing cooking time and energy usage by up to 70% for foods like beans and meat by trapping heat and pressure instead of letting it escape. But the revolution doesn't stop in the kitchen. It moves into your laundry, where you discover simple yet powerful upgrades like wool dryer balls that reduce drying time by around 25% by improving air circulation inside the dryer, and switching to cold water detergent eliminates the need for heating water altogether, saving up to 90% of the energy typically used in washing cycles. Together, these small but strategic changes transform your everyday routines into efficient systems, proving that the real power isn't in using bigger appliances, but in using smarter methods that deliver the same results with far less energy. The final stage of your journey isn't about discovering a new tool, it's about connecting everything you've already done into a single, coordinated system that works together instead of in isolation. By now, you understand that real savings don't come from one big change, but from multiple small decisions working in sync. And that's where your master plan begins to take shape, starting with simple yet overlooked upgrades like placing a tank bank inside your toilet, a small device that reduces the amount of water used per flush and quietly saves thousands of gallons over time without affecting performance. And alongside that, you install a smart thermostat costing around $30 that learns your habits, adjusts temperatures automatically, and prevents unnecessary heating or cooling, saving an additional $50 to $100 every year without you even thinking about it. These may seem like minor additions, but they complete the system, filling the final gaps that were still leaking energy and money from your home. Then comes the moment of truth, the climax of everything you've implemented. 1 month later, you open your utility bill again, just like you did at the beginning of this journey, but this time the experience is completely different. The number staring back at you is lower, noticeably lower, and for the first time, you don't feel confusion or frustration. You feel control, because you now understand exactly why it's lower. This isn't the result of one single fix, but the outcome of a coordinated system where every element supports the other. The smart power strip reduces phantom load so your devices stop wasting electricity in the background. The insulated windows and sealed doors keep cool air inside so your AC doesn't overwork. The efficient shower head reduces hot water usage, which directly lowers the burden on your water heater, and the insulation around that heater ensures the energy it produces is actually preserved instead of lost. In the kitchen, your air fryer and pressure cooker reduce cooking energy, while in the laundry, wool dryer balls and cold water washing eliminate unnecessary heat usage. Each tool may seem small on its own, but together they create a chain reaction of efficiency that compounds over time. When you step back and do the math, the results become even more powerful. Your total investment across all these tools is surprisingly low, around $200 in total, and yet, when you calculate the annual savings from reduced electricity, lower water heating costs, shorter appliance usage times, and minimized energy loss, the numbers quickly add up. Within just 1 to 2 years, your total savings cross the $1,000 mark. And beyond that point, Every additional month becomes pure gain because the system continues working without requiring constant input or extra cost. This is the real breakthrough, not just saving money once, but creating a sustainable system that keeps saving for you over time. And that's when the deeper realization sets in. You didn't just reduce your bills, you changed the way your home operates. You shifted from being a passive consumer of energy to an active controller of it, understanding where it flows, where it's wasted, and how to manage it effectively. Your home is no longer a place where energy disappears unnoticed, but a system where every unit of power, every drop of water, and every degree of temperature is accounted for and optimized. The difference isn't just financial, it's psychological, because now, instead of reacting to high bills, you anticipate them, influence them, and control them. This is where your message becomes clear, not just for yourself, but for anyone watching this journey unfold. Change doesn't require massive investment or complex technology. It starts with awareness, followed by simple, strategic actions that build on each other. You don't need to wait for the perfect solution or a huge budget. You can start small, just like you did, with one tool, one change, one improvement at a time. And as those changes stack up, they transform into something much bigger, a complete system that works in your favor. And the most powerful part of this entire story is this. Your next bill doesn't have to be a surprise anymore. It doesn't have to be higher, confusing, or frustrating. Because once you understand how your home really works, and once you take control of the small things that most people ignore, your next month's bill can genuinely look different. And that difference is no longer luck. It's a result of the system you built.